as a presenter, what can you do to get people to pay more attention during your presentation? People
Yes,
have a short attention span. So
that's one of my favorite topics, because that's where I see so many, beginner FP&A analysts struggle. Is they're presenting and then they're surprised that people are on the phone, they're doing email, they're thinking about the next meeting, and then they're not getting, the interaction that they want. And the number one reason that people don't follow is you're just reading from the slide. If you put too much on the slide, you have too many words on the slide, and you read from it, what happens is people can skim and read the slide faster than you can read it out loud, right? And you can speak to it. So you change to a new slide, people skim it, people get in 5 seconds what you're trying to say, and then they're bored because they don't want to hear the exact same thing again that they just read, right? And so they do something else. So always say more than what's on the slide. Put as little as possible in terms of words, always say more. And there are different ways you can do these. They're called voiceovers, right? Additional things you can say. What I always recommend is context, action, result, right? CAR, there's this concept where you probably only have the result on the slide, but also talk about the background, what you did to make that happen. Another great way is comparisons. So let's say you're talking about the current forecast versus actual. You could say that, oh, by the way, just as a reminder, last month, we also had a forecast accuracy of 98%, right? So it's in line with that, something that's not on the slide. Reservations and planned analysis is also, we touched on this when we talked about credibility, is that if you're authentic about the things that you still have to do, that we maybe haven't had time yet to fully analyze, that is something you can add. And then the last thing is something that I've seen a senior director do at Unilever that I was really impressed by, because I'd never seen that before. It was a big presentation. The general manager flew in from the headquarters from Europe, so it was a big deal for her. And she presented, and then at the end of the slide, she said, okay, now let me tell you what you'll see on the next slide, before she even moved to that slide. So she gave a preview of the next slide. And the reason that's, I think, works really well is, one, it shows that you're very well prepared, right? You don't need the slides as a crutch. You don't need the slides to tell you what you need to say. And two, you can make sure that your key message is understood, right? That people know exactly what you want them to take away from. Because sometimes, even if your slide is very well designed, if it's a complex slide, people are lost the first 10 seconds. They're trying to make sense of things and don't really listen to you during that time. So that's something to experiment with as well.